Jenny, who was rather tired of putting up with her rude and nasty co-workers and sleazy boss, decided to start her own business. After settling in, she decides to message her friend. "Kate," she wrote, "I finally left my old crappy job and started my own business." Happy to hear this news, Kate orders a bouquet of flowers to send to Jenny's new location. The next day, a bouquet of flowers shows up at the office with a tag attached that says, "Rest in peace." Confused, Jenny calls up Kate and asks if she sent those flowers. Kate explained that there must have been a mix-up at the florist, as her note said something entirely different. Being rather annoyed, Kate calls the florist where she ordered the flowers from. "We're so sorry," said the lady on the other end. "We know you're upset, but you need to understand something. We're also trying to deal with a funeral at the other side of town that just got a bouquet of flowers that says, 'It's about time you left those shitheads behind. Enjoy your new freedom.'" So, the banker saw his old friend Tom, an 80-year-old rancher in town. Tom had lost his wife a year or so before, and rumor had it that he was marrying a mail-order bride. Being a good friend, the banker asked Tom if the rumor was true. Tom assured him that it was. The banker then asked Tom the age of his new bride-to-be. Tom proudly said, "She'll be 21 in November." Now, the banker, being the wise man that he was, could see that the sexual appetite of a young woman could not be satisfied by an 80-year-old man. Wanting his old friend's remaining years to be happy, the banker tactfully suggested that Tom should consider getting a hired hand to help him out on the ranch, knowing nature would take its own course. Tom thought this was a good idea and said he would look for one that afternoon. About 4 months later, the banker ran into Tom in town again and asked, "How's the new wife?" Tom proudly said, "Good, she's pregnant." The banker, happy that his sage advice had worked out, continued, "And how's the hired hand?" Tom replied, "She's pregnant too." One day, God summoned Adam for an important task he must complete. God said, "Adam, I want you to do something for me." Adam said, "Gladly, Lord, what do you want me to do?" God said, "Go down into that valley." Adam said, "What's a valley?" God explained it to him. Then God said, "Cross the river." Adam said, "What's a river?" God explained that to him and then said, "Go over to the hill." Adam said, "What is a hill?" So, God explained to Adam what a hill was. He told Adam, "On the other side of the hill you will find a cave." Adam said, "What's a cave?" After God explained, he said, "In the cave you will find a woman." Adam said, "What's a woman?" So God explained that to him too. Then God said, "I want you to reproduce." Adam said, "How do I do that?" God muttered away to himself, rather annoyed. And then, just like everything else, God explained that to Adam as well. So, Adam goes down into the valley, across the river, and over the hill, into the cave, and finds the woman. Then, in about 30 minutes, he was back. God, his patience wearing thin, said angrily, "What is it now?" And Adam said, "What's a headache?" A man receives a letter ordering him to attend the local tax office for an interview about his previous year's earnings. Unsure of what to wear, he asks his mate, who tells him to look very smart, wear a suit and a good pair of shoes, to show them that he's an honest man. Later on in the pub, he meets another mate, tells him about his impending interview and that he's off to buy a good pair of shoes. But his mate disagrees, telling him he should wear old clothes, look very poor, so the taxman will feel sorry for him. By this time, the man is very confused, so on the way home calls in at his cousin's house for advice. His cousin is a wealthy businessman. "Well, my advice to you is the same as I gave my daughter Marlene when she asked me what she should wear on her wedding night," a long Britain Island nightie or a short skimpy baby doll nightie. It doesn't matter what you wear. Either way, you're going to get fucked. A doctor who'd been seeing an 80-year-old woman for most of her life finally retired. At her next checkup, the new doctor told her to bring a list of all the medicines that had been prescribed for her. As the young doctor was looking through these, his eyes grew wide as he realized she had a prescription for birth control pills. "Mrs. Smith, do you realize these are birth control pills?" "Yes, they help me sleep at night." "Mrs. Smith, I assure you there is absolutely nothing in these that could possibly help you sleep." She reached out and patted the young doctor's knee. "Yes, I know that. But every morning, I grind one up and mix it in the glass of orange juice that my 18-year-old granddaughter drinks. And believe me, it helps me sleep at night." 4 married men go fishing on a Saturday morning. They're sitting, fishing, and drinking beer in the boat, when suddenly the first man says, "You have no idea what I had to do to be able to come out fishing this weekend. I had to promise my wife that I will paint every room in the house next weekend." The second man says, "That's nothing. I had to promise my wife that I will build her a new deck for the pool." The third man retorts, "Man, you both have it easy. I had to promise my wife that I will remodel the kitchen for her." They continue to fish when they realize that the fourth man has not said a word. So they asked him, "You haven't said anything about what you had to do to be able to come fishing this weekend. What's the deal?" The fourth man said, "Well, I set my alarm for 5 a.m. When it went off, I slapped my wife's butt and said, 'Fishing' or 'hanky-panky.' And she said, 'Wear sunscreen.'" A very cranky old woman was arrested for shoplifting at a supermarket. She gave everyone a hard time, from the store manager to the security guard to the arresting officer who took her away. She complained and criticized everything and everyone throughout the process. When she appeared before the judge asked her what she had stolen from the store. The lady defiantly replied, "Just a stupid can of peaches." The judge then asked why she had done it. She replied, "I was hungry and forgot to bring any cash to the store." The judge asked how many peach pieces were in the can. She replied in a nasty tone, 9. "But why do you care about that?" The judge answered patiently, "Well, ma'am, because I'm going to give you 9 days in jail, 1 day for each peach." As the judge was about to drop his gavel, the lady's long-suffering husband raised his hand slowly and asked if he might speak. The judge said, "Yes, sir, what do you have to add?" The husband said meekly, "Your Honor, she also stole a can of peas."